Ever wish you had, like, a secret cheat code for your brain? What if you could genuinely upgrade your focus, your memory, maybe even level out your mood? Sounds pretty good, right? Well, today we're doing a deep dive into this really fascinating world of biohacking, specifically for mental well-being and cognitive performance. It's this whole DIY movement, really, aimed at improving health, enhancing our natural capabilities, using science-backed changes. We're going to cover a lot, from simple daily habits right up to, cutting-edge supplements. We've pulled together some incredible sources for this, everything from buyer's guides for nootropics, deep dives on breathwork, and even the ethical side of things.
Yeah, and what's so compelling, I think, is that biohacking isn't just about futuristic tech, like you said. It's really about making these science-backed changes to your lifestyle. But, connecting this to the bigger picture, it definitely raises some important questions. How do we approach these powerful tools responsibly?
Okay, let's unpack that term biohacking a bit more. So, at its heart, what are we talking about? It's basically making small, intentional changes, right? Using science to guide tweaks to your lifestyle, your environment, all to optimize how you function physically and mentally.
Exactly. Think of it as a kind of personalized, do-it-yourself approach to feeling better, performing better.
And it's a huge spectrum, isn't it? It's not just one thing. Like, on one end, you've got fairly mild stuff, trying a new diet, maybe meditation, things lots of people are doing. But then it stretches all the way to more, let's say, advanced efforts, sometimes using actual biotech tools.
Right. And that's where some of the discussion comes in.
So why is this getting so popular now? Our sources pointed to a few key reasons. A big one seems to be frustration. Frustration with how slow traditional medical innovation can feel sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. When you hear, like, a new medical device might take 3 to 7 years for approval.
Or a new drug, 12 years. That's a huge amount of time if you're waiting for something.
Exactly. And then there's the cost factor. Think about something like insulin. The price can be just astronomical for some people.
Yeah, prohibitive. And another point was the lack of focus on rare diseases. Our sources said something like 94% of rare diseases still don't have an FDA-approved treatment, which is staggering.
It really is. So what it boils down to is people are actively looking for faster ways, more accessible ways, maybe more personalized ways to just feel better and perform at their peak.
It's about taking control, empowerment.
Precisely. But that desire for faster, more personal solutions, it does create this interesting tension with let's say, the traditional scientific community.
Oh, so?
Well, biohacking inherently pushes boundaries, right? And sometimes this tinkering, especially with advanced science concepts, if you don't have the proper training or, the safety protocols of a lab, it can have unpredictable results.
Okay, like safety concerns.
Yeah. I mean, California even passed a law restricting the sale of DIY genetic engineering kits because of those concerns. Now, that's thinking about the more extreme end, maybe. You hear about grinders implanting tech or people trying to self-inject things like CRISPR. That's that gene editing tool. That's definitely fringe stuff.
Right. Not your everyday biohacker.
No. But the point is, even with more moderate biohacking, there's a real difference between just trying something out on yourself and the rigorous, systematic scientific method. Peer-reviewed controlled studies.
Understanding the why behind it, not just if it seems to work for you.
Exactly. That deep understanding and applying it responsibly. That's where the real value is. Our biology is incredibly complex. Powerful tools need careful handling, right?
Absolutely. Okay, so moving from the complex to something maybe deceptively simple, but incredibly powerful. Before we even get to supplements or tech, one of the biggest biohacks for mental wellness is breathing, something we do constantly without thinking.
It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? But it's true. Your breath is like a direct line, a remote control for your nervous system.
Right, controlling whether you're in stress mode or calm mode. Can you break down those two states for us? The sympathetic and parasympathetic?
Sure. So the sympathetic nervous system, that's your fight, flight, or freeze. When that's dominant, you get that increased arousal, stress hormones go up, your breathing gets fast and shallow.
Yeah, you feel keyed up. And it affects thinking too, right? Harder to focus.
Definitely. Cognitive function can be impaired. Digestion slows down. Even your immune system takes a hit. It's meant for short bursts of danger, not chronic activation.
Okay, and the flip side, the parasympathetic.
That's your rest and digest mode. When you shift into parasympathetic dominance, you feel calmer, more relaxed. Focus sharpens, thinking becomes clearer. Your breathing naturally slows and deepens, and this actively helps digestion, boosts your immune system. It's the recovery and rebuilding state.
So the breath is literally the lever we can pull to shift between those states.
Precisely. Conscious, controlled breathing is the most direct way you can influence which system is in the driver's seat. And it's not just a feeling, it leads to measurable physiological changes.
Like lower heart rate, blood pressure.
Exactly. Reduced stress hormones, better digestion, increased mental clarity. It's quite profound.
And you mentioned the vagus nerve playing a key role here.
Ah, yes, the vagus nerve. It's crucial. It's the 10th cranial nerve, the longest one in the parasympathetic system. Think of it as this major communication highway connecting your brain to your core organs, heart, lungs, gut.
Wow.
And it's a two-way street. Sends signals body to brain and brain to body. Absolutely vital for relaxation, recovery, general well-being. So when you practice deep breathing, especially focusing on a longer exhale, you're directly stimulating that vagus nerve.
And that improves vagal tone. What does that mean?
Vagal tone is basically a measure of how efficiently your vagus nerve is working.
Yeah.
Better tone means your body is better at shifting into that calm, relaxed, parasympathetic state when needed. So breathwork literally strengthens that ability over time.
That is incredible, just knowing you have that control. And our sources gave some really practical techniques, right? Things people can try straight away.
Absolutely. And the key really is consistency. Even just a couple of minutes a day makes a difference.
Okay, let's walk through a few. What's an easy one to start with? Our sources mentioned the BAMO breath. Breathe and move on.
Yes. BAMO is great for quickly shifting focus. It's a simple box. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, then pause for 4.
And counting helps distract from stress.
Exactly. That mental counting anchors your attention, helps block out intrusive thoughts. It's great for immediate stress reduction, regaining focus, managing emotions in the moment, and just signaling, okay, time to move on to your brain.
Sounds useful. And similar to that is box breathing or tactical breathing.
Very similar rhythm. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. Often used in high-pressure situations. It's fantastic for calming the nervous system under stress, increasing focus right when you need it, regulating heart rate. It builds that sense of inner stability.
Okay. And for deeper relaxation, maybe winding down, the 4-7-8 technique.
Right, the relaxing breath. This one's a bit different. You exhale fully first, making a whoosh sound. Then inhale quietly through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold the breath for a count of 7, and then exhale completely through your mouth, again with a whoosh for 8 seconds.
So the exhale is twice as long as the inhale. That's the key.
That's the magic. That long exhale is a powerful signal to the vagus nerve. Just 4 cycles of this can bring about deep relaxation, really help reduce anxiety, and it's fantastic for improving sleep. Great for emotional regulation, too.
Wow, only 4 times. Okay, and one more. The diaphragmatic or belly breathing.
Yes, this taps into your diaphragm more fully. You can put one hand on your chest, one on your belly. When you inhale deeply through your nose, focus on feeling your belly rise. The hand on your abdomen moves out while your chest stays relatively still.
Okay.
Then exhale slowly through your mouth, feeling the belly fall. Aim for maybe a 4 or 5 count for both inhale and exhale. Nice and smooth.
And the benefits there.
Really good for overall stress reduction, better oxygenation, lowers heart rate and blood pressure over time, helps digestion, and it's just a great daily practice for boosting your mood. These aren't just exercises, they're real biohacks.
Absolutely. Powerful stuff, just using your breath. But okay, breathwork is one piece. What other lifestyle biohacks did our sources highlight for stress and mental well-being?
There are quite a few interesting ones gaining traction. Let's talk cold exposure.
Ice baths and cold showers. Sounds intense.
It can be. But even relatively mild cold, say 50 degrees after 10 degrees C, triggers a release of norepinephrine in your brain that boosts alertness, focus, mood. Kind of like a clean energy shot without the jitters you might get from caffeine. And it also stimulates the vagus nerve.
Interesting. Like hitting a reset button. What about heat? Saunas?
Yeah, at-home saunas are popular too. They work differently. The heat induces a mild protective stress. It's called hormesis. This triggers the production of heat shock proteins. Think of them as cellular cleanup crews. They help reduce inflammation, aid detoxification, and build resilience against stress at a cellular level.
Okay. And red light therapy. How does that work?
This involves exposing your skin to specific wavelengths of red and near-infrared light. The idea is that this light penetrates the skin and helps your mitochondria, the energy factories in your cells, produce energy more efficiently. More cellular energy can translate to benefits like countering depression, boosting mood, and helping your body combat stress effects.
Fascinating. And of course, we have to talk about nutrition and gut health, the gut-brain axis.
Huge, absolutely critical. The communication between your gut and brain is constant and profound. What you eat directly impacts how you feel. Diets high in processed foods can increase inflammation, potentially worsening anxiety.
So the biohack is eat better.
Pretty much. But specifically, focus on anti-inflammatory foods. Get probiotics from fermented things like sauerkraut, kimchi, yogurt. Omega-3 fats are crucial. Also, prebiotics food for your good gut bacteria, things like garlic, onions, chicory root, and polyphenols found in dark chocolate, blueberries, things like that. High fiber is key too.
And stress impacts the gut too, right? It's a two-way street.
Absolutely. Reducing stress helps your gut, and a healthy gut helps you manage stress. It's a powerful feedback loop.
Makes sense. What about managing our digital lives? Digital detoxing?
Yeah, that's becoming increasingly important. It's not about abandoning tech, but being intentional, limiting screen time, especially before bed, turning off those constant notifications. It reduces mental clutter, helps you stay present.
Simple, but probably very effective. And one more, loving kindness meditation.
A really lovely practice. You focus on generating feelings of warmth and compassion, first for yourself, then extending it outwards to others. Research shows it can increase heart rate variability, or HRV.
Which is linked to that vagal tone we talked about.
Exactly. It's a good indicator of parasympathetic activity,
Right.
and it consistently boosts positive emotions and resilience. So yeah, lots of tools in the lifestyle toolkit.
Definitely. Okay, let's shift gears a bit to something that gets a lot of attention in biohacking. Nootropics, the so-called smart drugs.
Cognitive enhancers. It's a booming area.
So these are supplements, basically, claiming to help with memory, focus, clarity.
Generally, yes. Supplements or sometimes other substances. The term nootropic actually goes back to the 1960s. A scientist named Dr. Georgia coined it. He had specific criteria. They should enhance memory and learning, protect the brain, help neurons fire efficiently, that kind of thing.
And how do they supposedly work? What's the mechanism?
It varies quite a bit. Some modulate neurochemicals, your brain's messengers, like dopamine or acetylcholine. Others might affect hormones or enzymes. Some aim to improve oxygen flow to the brain or even promote nerve growth factor for brain repair.
And there are different types, natural, synthetic.
Right. You've got natural ones people might know, like ginkgo biloba, or even caffeine is technically a nootropic. Then synthetic compounds like piracetam, which was one of the originals, and even some prescription drugs like modafinil, which people sometimes use off-label for focus, though that comes with its own considerations.
Okay, so a huge range, which brings us to the big question. How do you know what actually works? There are so many products out there.
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's complex. Our sources did try to break it down, looking at specific ingredients and their functions.
Can you give us some examples, key ingredients for different goals?
Sure. For things like processing speed and focus, you often see CDP-choline that helps build neurotransmitters, or L-tyrosine, which is a precursor to dopamine and norepinephrine, and lion's mane mushroom keeps coming up for focus and nerve support.
Okay, and for memory or learning?
Bacopa monnieri is a classic Ayurvedic herb studied for memory. Phosphatidylserine, or PS, is important for brain cell membranes. And DHA, that omega-3 fatty acid, is fundamental for brain structure.
What about for anxiety or mood?
Magnesium is crucial for nerve function. Rhodiola rosea is an adaptogen, helping the body cope with stress. And saffron is showing some really interesting promise for mood support in studies.
And energy, motivation, besides caffeine.
L-theanine is often paired with caffeine. It seems to smooth out the energy, reduce jitters. Acetyl L-carnitine helps with cellular energy production, particularly in the brain.
And long-term brain health, repair, maintenance.
DHA, again, is key. Lion's mane for nerve growth factor support.
Yeah.
And powerful antioxidants like astaxanthin help protect brain cells from damage.
So lots of different angles. Did the sources actually test specific products? Stacks, as they call them.
They did. And looking at products gives you a sense of how companies combine these ingredients, looking for synergy. But, it's crucial to remember individual responses vary a lot. And things like third-party testing for purity and dosage are really important.
Right. So what were some of the top-rated ones they looked at?
Okay, so Thinkies came out as best overall with a really high rating, 92%. Testers felt it was great for memory, focus, cutting through brain fog, and seemed to support long-term health, too. It had high doses of acetyl L-carnitine, 750 milligram, and lion's mane, 550 milligram. People reported sustained energy, avoiding that afternoon slump.
Interesting. What else stood out?
Mind Vitality was second, rated 74%, especially good for productivity. Enhanced mental endurance. It had lion's mane, bacopa, and ashwagandha, another stress-reducing adaptogen. Clean energy was a common comment. NuCube got 69%, focusing on memory, concentration, less brain fog. They apparently reformulated to be allergen-free, which is a plus for many.
Good to know. Any others?
Viva Mind, 56% rating, was highlighted as best for productivity. It gave steady energy without jitters. It used L-tyrosine and L-theanine alongside a moderate caffeine dose, 75 milligram for smooth focus.
Right, that L-theanine synergy.
Exactly. And for people who prefer drinks, Caged Mindset, 50% rating, was best nootropic drink. Testers reported good mental clarity and focus, nice flavor. It had high doses of alpha-GPD, a type of choline, and acetyl L-carnitine.
So looking at these top ones, it seems like they often combine ingredients that hit multiple areas, not just one specific thing.
That's a key takeaway. Many of the better formulations aim for a holistic effect, supporting various cognitive functions. But again, I have to stress, results are individual. Do your research, look for quality verification, and ideally talk to a healthcare professional before jumping into supplements.
Absolutely crucial advice. So wrapping this up, we've covered a lot. From mastering your own breath to optimizing diet, maybe trying cold showers, or even exploring these complex nootropics, biohacking offers this really diverse, growing toolkit for enhancing mental well-being and cognitive performance. And the goal isn't just about short-term fixes, is it? It's more about nurturing long-term brain health, building that resilience.
Exactly. And that brings us back to the importance of a careful, informed approach.
While it's exciting to think about hacking your biology, these methods should really complement, not replace, things like therapy or professional medical advice, especially if you're dealing with significant anxiety or cognitive issues.
Good point. It's about adding tools, not discarding proven support systems.
Right. There's always more to learn about your own unique system. Getting multiple perspectives helps you make smart, responsible choices for your health journey. So, as you listen to this, what really stands out to you from this deep dive? Maybe it's the simple, accessible power of just controlling your breath, or perhaps the complex science behind these nootropics stacks. Either way, the idea that we can consciously influence our own biology is pretty profound, isn't it? Makes you wonder. As our understanding keeps growing, how will this drive for self-optimization continue to shape not just us as individuals, but maybe the future of human potential itself? Something to think about.